What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're out at the pond here in November, and
nice 70-degree day.
Yeah, it's like the nicest day possible out here in Illinois. It gets a lot colder this time of year normally, so I'm out here with Mr. Greg Sopa from the Surface team, and you guys have seen him before, but today we're going to be doing a little Proboat action on the Sonicwake. Now, this isn't exactly new, but it's an awesome boat, and if you're thinking about getting into boats and you want something with a lot of speed, maybe not your first boat. but certainly something that you can come out to a pond like this behind a house and you won't get into trouble with it, right? Because it's got some pretty cool features.
Yeah, and it's one of our evergreen boats. I mean, it's been around for a long time. So it's a 6S boat, so you can do 2 3S batteries in it. It's got a 1900 kV motor in it, and it's a 50-mile-an-hour boat. So I mean, it can go as fast as you want it to go.
So let's talk a little about the inside, and I've got some B-roll I'll play through here, but it's a 6S boat, so we're able to do 50 mile an hour. It's brushless, water-cooled motor, Spectrum servo on board. Comes with the STX radio, not a full-blown Spectrum system.
Yep.
So certainly an upgradable component there, but a good radio to get you out of the box.
Yeah, and one of the nice features about it is it's actually self-righting. So it's got these holes on the side where you can actually, when the boat flips over, and you might see when we get out there, it's a little wavy today. So the compartment will actually fill up with water. It'll bring the boat back around, and then as soon as you hit the gas, then it'll, all that water will empty out the back, and then, be fully buoyant. So
this is a V-hull, which typically, guys, if you've not driven RC boats, a V-hull is going to be much more stable, and it will be able to carve a little harder than something like some with pontoons on it. Is that your experience too? Yeah, it's like a catamaran, like our Blackjack, or something like the, what's the one with the 2 pontoons? That's like a hydrofoil boat. So those are going to be better for calmer water, but a lot better for carving a certain direction. With a V-hull, I find that it's almost just like the jack of all. It does everything really well.
Yeah.
It
still doesn't turn quite as quickly right as it does left, which is just natural for a boat. But yeah, it does have very good handling out there.
Very cool. All right, well, you got some smart 6S or 2 3S 5000s. Those are the 100C packs in here.
Yeah.
So as much punch as we can get out of it.
Yeah, and on boats, I mean, generally, especially with the brushless boat, it's always better to go with a higher C rating, because that way you get the better power draw out of it, and it's gonna these batteries will get a little warm in a boat because you're on the gas pretty much.
Well, there's not a lot of airflow. There's a ton of current being pulled. Water is just dragging in general, so it's just a lot of current, way more than a car. So that, you gotta have that's why you see boats with like massive speed controls in them. You're like, why does it need that? Well, A, it needs to be water cooled, and it needs that much because it's pulling that much current, even though it's a small thing. Like you look at a Creighton 8S, it's a smaller speed control probably than what's in here almost. Pretty impressive. Well, Greg, what do you say? Let's get in the water and let's see if we can show them this self-righting action.
Let's do it.
All right.
It'll just tear away.
So guys, Greg was just showing me a cool feature on the back end of this boat, giving you a little bit more of the business end of this thing. So you do have a nylon bolt right here, and Greg says that if you were to hit something in the water, let's say you come over a log, hit something, sorry Woods, that will actually, it's a break point so that you don't damage the metal bits, but you just break away this section, and this would kind of flip up out of the way. So pretty cool there. We're trying to take you out, Greg. But then you also got, you got the exit ports here for the water to come out of the boat when it's going, because these will fill up with water. And then of course you've got your, I don't know, I'm sure the boat guys are yelling at me now, whatever these are called. The fins in the back that are adjustable, the trim tabs are adjustable. You can, by bending those just by hand, you can get the boat to come in and out of the water more on plane. So pretty cool setup there. Also your water pickup in the back, as well as your steering arm coming out of the boat. So there we go. Let's get it in the water.
Yep.
Greg's got to traverse the rocky, the rocky beach here. Nailed it, even upside down. So here we go, guys. Off the bat, you can see it starting to list to one side. Boom. I didn't do anything, by the way. I was just holding this. So you can see how it's still kind of heavy on one side, but as Greg drives it off, all that water will exit the back of the boat, and it'll clear itself and be able to float normally. So you can see there, just getting up on plane. Let's give it a couple good rips here, Greg. That's moving, dude. You can hear that prop ripping through the water. downwind. That is fast. I will say that is ripping.
It is a little bit choppy today, so you'll see it'll get kind of airborne, so I'll let off the throttle.
Yeah. Hey, it's still upright. That's solid. Yeah, the beauty of this self-righting stuff is that, I mean, not too long ago, if you did that in a boat and tumbled like that, and it sat upside down, you'd be getting in a pontoon or a float or something, or waiting for the wind to push it back. Now you just roll this thing over and not a care in the world, because every time it fills up with water, it's just gravity and physics.
Another boating trick, even if you have a self-righting boat, is it never hurts to be downwind while you're boating.
Yes.
So if you can't get to the boat, you just wait for the current to bring it over to you.
That's right. Give Woodford a nice run around here. He's chasing it up and down the shore. Yeah, it's nice and choppy, but guys, you see the V-hole really cut through this just fine. You do this with a boat with 2 pontoons or a catamaran, you're gonna see a lot of difference there. Plus, in wind, the catamarans tend to grab a lot of air underneath them, and that really gets them out of the water. You have to run a lot of downstream. You can even see, Greg, the water exit on this when you're coming down the other way. You can see the exit from all the electronics, which is really cool. But look at the rooster tail on that. So what's typical runtime on something like this? 5 or so minutes, or is it up to 10 almost?
10 minutes, yeah. It also depends. I mean, if I'm just kind of cruising like this,
yeah,
obviously that's a lot better. If I'm just pinning it back and forth, one, it's gonna get warm pretty quick. I mean, the water temperature right now is nice and cool, so you know that'll help keep the electronics. The battery will still be a little toasty, but
oh yeah. Yeah, it's almost just riding on the prop there. That's impressive. So does it turn better to the right, I guess?
To the right.
To the right, yeah.
Yeah, left is a little bit wider. And then, you know, with the STX radio, so you've got your throttle control there. So, I mean, at 50%, it's, you know, it just kind of cruises. So if somebody's never had a boat before, to give it to them.
That's good kid speed.
Yeah, exactly. they can kind of learn it, take it around.
Hey, I won't even get up on plane at that speed,
Yeah,
but that's okay.
Even at 75%, you know, it's still just kind of cruises.
Yeah, that'll probably get up on plane here in a second. There it goes. Yeah, that's a lot faster though. As soon as it gets on plane, it's moving. But that's a really nice feature of these radios, and we're starting to do it in other Spectrum radios too. But yeah, I call it the kid mode or the newbie mode, but it's perfect because you know 9 times out of 10 you're out here. We haven't seen anybody today, but usually someone comes out, oh man, that's really cool. And for me, it's like sharing the hobby with somebody is part of the fun, and getting out there and giving them the radio like without giving them 100% throttle at 50 miles an hour into the rocks is a huge thing.
Well, the nice thing is if you get like a DX5C or a Rugged or something like that and you're using that for these, you know, your throttle control isn't just 50, 70, 75, and 100.
Yeah.
You know, I've used it before where, you know, I've had a real small kid doing it with me. And, you know, then I turn it down to like 20%.
Right.
Like that, just so that I can really, because most times when people aren't used to it, an RC vehicle, they'll just pin the throttle.
Yeah, or they'll get nervous and pin the throttle or hold the stick to one side or the wheel to one side, and then you've got a bad problem on your hands. And before you can say let go, it's in the rocks.
See, I don't want to drain the battery. You want to try it?
Yeah, let's give it a shot here. I'll swap the camera over to you. And we got 100% throttle. No other changes there. That right hand turn being nice and tight.
Oh, there you go. Landed it too. There you go.
Like every time you hand me a product, I always end up crashing the car. This is like our infraction and felony video all over again. Let's try not to kill it completely.
There's nothing that says that a boat can't be a basher too.
That's right. I mean, it just lawn darted itself into the ground. Yeah, so left turns are definitely like doubly as wide. You gotta be careful of that, but that's okay. Woo!
Yeah.
Definitely had to come out of the throttle on that one.
Certain boats like the UL-19, which is a hydroplane boat, you know, those ones are even more so. You can't really turn to the left. And that's the way that those boats, I mean, even full scale, are intended.
Yeah. So yeah, coming upwind, this is going upwind, guys. You definitely have to be a little bit more cautious on the throttle. There's a lot more wind underneath the hull. But as you come downwind, you can really hammer down. And on a calm day, this would be incredible.
Oh yeah.
It's just such a cool cool sound. I love that sound. That's amazing. Let's do another purposeful flip upside down there. I'm gonna bring it back. I'll go out there and just flip it just so you guys can watch it up close.
Yeah, Woodford's getting his exercise today.
Yeah. Alright. So, no water in the boat at all right now, guys. I don't hear anything in there, even though I lawn darted it. So the seal is really good. So let's just toss it in upside down. And you can immediately start to see the water grab that. I haven't done anything with the radio. And boom, back to level. So just a really
And you can see the water's still kind of in there. It's just,
yeah,
you know, tilting a little bit to the left side.
Yeah, and as soon as I hit the throttle a little bit, it's going to clear that water out, and you can start to see the boat now sitting flatter. So it's not a negative thing where it's holding water as you're driving the boat. As soon as you get going, it's immediately clearing that water out of that funnel.
Now with this boat, just because of the design, if you've just got it floating in the pond or a lake, it is, since it's got that exit hole, it will fill up just a little bit.
Yeah.
But as soon as you hit the throttle, it'll empty right out.
Yeah. It's almost the kind of boat where you purposely want it to do flips and tumbles.
Yeah.
And this is a polycarb boat. It's not fiberglass.
No, this one is fiberglass.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So a little bit stronger. Of course, that makes the price point go up a little more.
Yep.
But okay, this is legit. This is all the. So what does something like this run typically?
So this one is $399
Okay.
without batteries and charger.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
So
And for the
batteries and-
size and the performance, I mean, it's a good size boat. You saw that when Steve took it out of the water. I mean, it's a decent size. But it also gives you the ability to have a little bit more fun on a bigger pond like this.
And I'm impressed the power has been strong this whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm in the throttle quite a bit. You were in the throttle quite a bit. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's still giving us all the power. Granted, we got nice new fresh custom pads. But yeah, I love the right hand turning capability. It is just ripped to the right.
Now, technically, it does have reverse. So if
Really?
if you're taking a left,
Oh wow, good.
if you're taking a left and you kind of run out of room, you can back it up a little bit just to give you a little bit more space. It's not.
It'll almost bury itself.
Yeah. It's not quite like, you know, a car
Right.
for reverse, but
Yeah, you can even hit the brakes here.
Yeah.
It slowed down pretty good actually. So if you're about to hit the dock, I guess, if you're at the lake, just hammer the reverse. I mean, that slowed it down pretty
Yeah.
good there.
Yeah.
My dog's gonna be really annoyed on that. Feel the power coming down just a little bit, but man, I'm still getting good full throttle rips right to that sun there. Nice and good. Full throttle pass. Oh, there's the cutoff. All right. So right to the end. Luckily that was near us. But the good thing with throttle cutoff is you always have a little extra throttle at the end to get you back home. So let's get out of the water here. See that water exiting there. That's all that tunnel.
The last break that you had.
But that's not water in the boat, right? That's just water in this channel here. So
Correct. Yep.
let's open it up, and a lot of times boats get water inside, and but that's, you know, they're all waterproof electronics to begin with. So guys, there's just 4 screws that kind of hold this top on. 4 is definitely better than 2 because these do get a lot of pressure and force on the hull when you're flipping and tunking it like I did. You tired there, buddy? Look at this. Pretty much bone dry inside there. I mean, there's a couple of droplets of water,
Yeah.
but there is not
Nothing
any
that's
pools
gonna
of
bother
water, so very good seal on there.
The batteries are just a little bit warm to touch. I mean, they're not hot by any means, but
And the motor is cold.
yeah.
Granted,
and
that water is probably 60 degrees.
Yeah, so the
but-
difference is if we're in like a 90-degree day, it'd get a little bit warm just because there's not enough, you know, cold water running through it. But with it being a nice, it's been cool out lately. Like we said, it's November, so you know that'll keep everything nice and cold.
Yeah, it definitely is. Even the speed control in here, yeah, I can keep my hand on it. No problems at all.
Yeah.
So overall, awesome boat, Greg. Thanks for letting me drive it, man.
Yeah, no problem.
The Sonicwake from Proboat, guys. Make sure to go check it out. I'll put a link in the description. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the next one.